Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I want to do a tool restoration. What I have is this Armstrong number 43 shaper and planer tool. This is the same exact type of tool that I use in my G&E shaper, only mine is one size smaller. I can't remember exactly, mine may be the number 42. The number 43, which is what we have, uses a 5/8 square tool bit. And the way that these tools are made is that they have it where you can run it in a 90, 45, or 0-degree angle on there, so you can turn your tool at a different angle. And I find that this is one of the best tools to use on a shaper. I absolutely love them. But I'd like to get this guy cleaned up, and what I have in mind is I would like to put this tool on my eBay store. I've used eBay for years, like many of you guys have, and I've never sold anything on eBay. I want this to be the test subject right here. I want to get it cleaned up, get it looking good again, and we're going to put it on eBay, and we're going to let you guys get over there. And this one we'll probably start with a bid. We'll put it on there for like a low reserve, and let you guys go and bid and see who ends up with it, if you guys have any interest in it. We're going to use our Evaporust and get it cleaned up. I want to do a minimal cleaning on this, as far as like a wire brush and a grinder. There is a little bit of galling on here where it has hit, work pieces over the years. These are super old tools. This thing could be, 75, 100 years old. I don't really know, but it has seen a lot of use, so we might need to do some filing on here just to kind of knock those burrs down. But I want to de-rust it. I'm not going to wire brush it. We'll probably put some of our Oxbow blue on there, make it look nice, clean up the threads really nicely, just make it look like a good, clean tool that's ready to put in a machine and work, all right? So whenever we have this on eBay, we'll be sure to let you guys know. We'll post on it, and you guys can go over there and bid on it if you'd like. So we'll go ahead and start getting this apart, and then we'll get it down in the Evaporust bucket. See if this nut's going to crack loose. First time taking this apart, I bought this tool as is. I don't even remember where I bought it or who I bought it from. Just don't remember now. Nice big flange nut. There's the tool bit that was in it. That's interesting grind on there. And this guy right here, looks like they got a shim in there. Some kind of shim. We'll get all the grease off of it, clean up in the smart washer. And then it's just a matter of setting it down in some Evaporust. All right, first thing we want to do is just go ahead and wash the oil, any of the oil off the parts there before we soak it. So we're using the smart washer for that. I find that a nail brush like this works really well over here for cleaning up parts. All right, that should be good. We'll let them dry, blow them off before we go into the Evaporust. Definitely looks like a little shim in there. Looks like a piece of brass shim stock. Let's see if it just peels out of there. That it does. Yep. All right, so I need to wash that again. There's still some more oil underneath it. There's a pretty heavy burr there. So things like this, we'll clean all these burrs up off of all the parts and make sure none of that's on there. Here's our tool holder after we cleaned it up in the smart washer. Just wanted to show you guys what it's looking like after that. I used the wire brush on this because there was a lot of crud buildup down in these grooves. So I just brushed that into the cleaner. You can see some of these burrs here that we'll need to, we'll file those off. Everything's clean, and then we'll go ahead and clean up the tool bit that was in this tool as well. Might as well just keep this bit with the tool since that's what was in there. So we'll just clean that up as well. All right, I got a bucket of Evaporust ready to go. We'll go ahead and set it down in there. All right, fresh bucket of Evaporust. I've got this stainless basket right here, something that I bought at an antique shop a long time ago, and I always use it for my Evaporust cleaning. And what I did is I went ahead and pailed some of it out into this clean bucket so that when we lower the tools down in there, it wasn't going to run over. And then we'll add the Evaporust back to it as we need. So we're just going to use our basket to help get this done. Lower down in there. That just barely fits. We're going to have to make sure that our Evaporust is all the way to the top of the bucket there. You want to make sure that whenever you soak parts in Evaporust that it's completely submerged. If you don't, you're going to see a line across there on your part. All right, we'll go ahead and just pour some of this back in here. Make sure the tool is completely covered. And still not quite enough. Man, all right, I have another bucket of Evaporust here. I'll go ahead and open it up and it looks like it's gonna have to go all the way to the very top of the bucket here. But I think we're gonna get it. Another bucket of Evaporust. And let's see if we can get this topped off. I really want that submerged. I could take the basket out. That's probably what we may end up having to do. I think we're going to get it. All right, there it is. Might as well just put a little extra for good measure there. Perfect. All right. And we'll keep these covered up. Try to keep the Evaporust from evaporating. Just like that. And my plan for this is just to do an overnight soak. So we're going to just let it stay in here until tomorrow, and then we'll pull them out, and they should be good and clean. Brand new Evaporust is always the most effective, and it does last a long time. It just depends on how much derusting that you're doing on tools. But we'll revisit this tomorrow morning, pull them out and see how they look and go from there, okay? Okay, we've been doing our 24-hour soak on the Armstrong number 43 tool holder. Let's go ahead and pull it out and give everything a check and see what it looks like. It's looking good. Give it a sec to drain there. I think it did its job. I'm gonna pull you in for a tighter shot as we inspect everything. All right, here's our main tool. Usually you can just take and buff them a little bit, you know, just rub them actually. And it'll take the remnants of what looks like rust that might still be on there. It just takes it right on off. That looks good. Right on down to bare metal. You can see like right here, what looks like rust is still on it. Just take a rag and wipe it off. What I want to do is go to the smart washer and actually just kind of wash them off, and we'll use the nylon bristle of the brushes to basically wash them. I think it turned out nice. It looks good. All right, let's check out our other parts. We need to do some deburring on that right there. Looks like I missed the shim. There was 2 shims in there. Yep, there's another piece of brass in there. I did not see that. It looked like metal. It just had, you know, just crud all over it, and I couldn't tell that it was a piece of brass. But that's no problem. We can take that out. We got our nice heavy duty flange nut there. And then the tool bit, the high-speed steel tool bit. You can see what looks like rust on it right there. It just wipes off. That must have been where it was setting down on there, so this one will just go back in there because I can tell it didn't quite get it. Sometimes when it's sitting, when an object or a tool or something is sitting flat in there, doesn't quite do as good, and I can tell that one. It's got most of the rust off there, but I think that could use another little soaking. And we're just cleaning this up simply because this is the tool that came in the tool holder, so I'm gonna just keep it with it. All right, well, I think our Evaporust did great. Now I'm gonna go over to the smart washer and go ahead and just kind of give all of these parts a nice scrub down with our soft bristle brushes. Get rid of any of the black carbon that's still on the surface there, and just get them clean up. I don't want to do a bunch of wire brushing on this thing. Really what I wanted to do was rub it down with the cold blue solution and see what it looks like after that, instead of wire brushing the surface. Our second shim. There may be a little bit of rust hiding underneath that I didn't get because of that shim, so we might put this, and that tool bit back in the Evaporust for a little while and go ahead and make sure that it gets all that rust out of that inside. I can see a little bit still in there. Over here in the smart washer, we'll go ahead and get these 2 parts just washed off. We're gonna let the other 2 soak for a few more hours before we take them out. So again, I'm not gonna use any, you know, wire wheeling on these tools. I wanted to try and I wanna clean these up with the Evaporust like we did. And without putting any kind of wire brush on the surface, I wanted to try the cold bluing and just see how it looks. And if it doesn't look good, it's very easily removed again in the Evaporust. Yeah, it's cleaned it up nicely. That is a metal brush. I think I got a plastic brush over here. Yep, nylon bristle brush. So we can get that inside bore with. Make sure that counter bore is cleaned out nicely. One more. Got this end here. Well, here's a look at our tools after a complete soak in the Evaporust. You can see it did a really nice job getting all the rust off of it everywhere. And the flange nut, and then that was the tool bit that was in the holder there as well. I got a little bit of filing to do. We got some burrs here, so we're going to get that filed off, and then there's a few more burrs sticking up here where this tool has rubbed work pieces in its life. So we'll get these filed, and then we're going to put some cold bluing on here, see what it looks like, brush down with some cold blue. We got some burrs right here we want to file off. Okay, not a whole lot of filing done on it, but we've got it deburred now. Anywhere I felt burr sticking up, we just used a file and made sure that the top and bottom was flat, and then the corners are filed off there as well. We got our heavy burrs off the end of the tool, and it is ready to go. I think that's all we're going to do on the cleanup there. I think we're just going to put our blackening on all of these guys. So this is what I've got to use right here. This is the Birchwood brand Super Blue Liquid Gun Blue. We're going to give it a shot. There was a lot of good reviews online about this. I know it seems to be very popular in the firearms world. And so we're going to give it a shot with our tool right here. Okay, for the Birchwood Liquid Gun Blue, it's saying to rinse it with cold water. I haven't done that before. I usually use the Brownells Oxbow Blue, but it's not available in a larger container, so that's why I wanted to try this one here. Just have a little bit larger container to have around the shop for some projects like this. We'll give it a try. We'll see how it is. You know what I need to do? I need to find a little container to pour some of this in, so let me do that next. All right, this Hanker Loop container was just about empty, so I just rinsed it out, and we'll just use this here. I don't know how much it'll take, but we'll just start with that there. Seems to be working pretty well. Try to give it a good coat all on all sides, and then we'll rinse it off. All right, that seems to be pretty evenly coated. It says to wait 30 seconds and then rinse it off. I think it's been about long enough. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the sink and rinse it, and we'll come back and finish it out. So this is after rinsing it in the cold water, and then I just use the air to blow it off dry. So I can tell that I'm gonna wanna put at least 2, maybe even 3 coats or so on here. But before we do that, I wanna go ahead and we'll coat these other 2 there as well. All right, I'll go rinse those off as well. All right, so there's our first soaking in the gun blue. You can see what they look like. We'll go ahead and hit them with some of the steel wool. So according to the instructions, I haven't done this very much, but rinse with cold water, wipe dry, polish slightly with steel wool, and then repeats 4, 5, 6, and 7 to obtain a darker blue. So I think that's what we'll do is we'll do a little polishing with the steel wool here. And then we'll go ahead and hit it again. And I might give it a few coats. That's looking good with the steel wool polishing. All right, I'll keep doing that. We'll burnish these guys here as well, and then we'll put one more coat on camera. I don't want to bore you guys too much with this. This is just repetitive work right here, but you can see how the process works for anybody that's curious about this as well. All right, we got all 3 parts there burnished with the steel wool. We're going to take you through one more soaking with the cold blue in here and see if we get any different results from a second application. Looks like it's covered well. We'll go rinse it off. All right, guys, this is after the second application of the cold bluing. I think it's looking good. You can actually see the color coming through now. You can see some of the different areas of the blue color. It's giving it an interesting look there. I don't know how that's coming across on camera, but it's looking pretty cool. It definitely is making it look like it's been heated. That's what it looks like to me, is like a heat blue. So I'm going to go ahead and polish it again and give it one more application with the cold blue. And after that, we'll probably call it quits on there. I think it's looking good. I was hoping to see this get a lot darker, but maybe that's not what this stuff actually does. I mean, it is gun bluing, but I thought it was going to get a darker color to it. But it's definitely looking good, and I think it's going to bring really nice new life to this old tool here. So go through this one more time and get it all polished and cleaned up and bring you guys back, and it should be finished. Okay, so this is after 3 applications of the cold bluing. I think it looks good. I like it. I actually really like the look of it. To me, it gives it sort of a heat treated look, like it came out of an oven. This is after I burnished it again with the steel wool. So I'm going to leave it just like this. I think it's cleaned up very nicely, and it's a tool that is ready to go back into service, that looks good, de-rusted. One last step that we're going to do is go ahead and rub it down with a little bit of oil, and that should kind of make it really kind of shine and pop there as well. All right, last step, put a little oil on it. I'm going to use the 336 for this. We'll just take the air gun and kind of blow them off and get the excess oil off there. That's looking good. It's making it look really nice with the oil on there. Gives it a nice sheen. I love these tools. That's just making it look so much better right there. I think the 336 did a fine job on this. It looks beautiful. It's got a really nice soft feel in the hand there as well. All of our parts look great. Well, that is going to wrap up the restoration of our Armstrong number 43 tool holder. I think it turned out fabulous. It looks great. Got all that rust off of it. Got the cold bluing on there to kind of give it a nice uniform look. It feels good. It's nice and smooth on the hands there. Just overall a beautiful tool that's ready to put back in service. I did find a high-speed steel tool bit, and I was going to mention that I am going to go ahead and include a brand new tool bit with the tool. So whoever ends up buying it, you will get a new tool with it. And as I said before, this was the tool that came in it, and I'm going to ship that with it as well. So that'll just stay with it. But let's go ahead and stick one of these tool bits in here, and you can kind of see what it looks like with a tool installed. This is the same type of tool that I use on my G&E shaper, and I absolutely love it. So you can put it, straight. You can put your tool at 45 degrees like that, or you can put it at 90 degrees, which is perfect if you're going to do some, vertical shaping down with the tool head there. So I'll find a really good tool. This one, I don't know what it is. It's not marked, but I will find a good quality, maybe like a Cleveland or something, that I'll put with the tool whenever we end up selling it. So, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm planning on putting this on my eBay store. We'll put it on there for a very low starting bid and let you guys just have some fun with it. And hopefully somebody's going to end up with it that truly wants it, and maybe even wants to put it on their big planer or their big shaper and put it to work. So we'll have it on the eBay store. We'll have the link there in the video description so you guys can see that. It should be up by the time you see this video, but there's a possibility that it may not, but hopefully it's going to be on there, and I'll make sure I'll have a post there for you guys so you'll know when it's up on eBay there as well. But this is just a start of several tools that I would eventually like to put on my eBay store. This right here was just sort of a trial, and I don't plan on restoring every tool that I'm going to sell. This one was just a special project that, because I love these tools so much, I wanted to de-rust it, get it cleaned up, get it looking good, and kind of kick off the eBay store with this particular one. But as I start going through the home shop and all of my surplus tooling, I'm going to be kind of separating some things that I'm wanting to sell and liquidate, and some of this stuff will probably just end up on the eBay store so that you know, there's a good place for a lot of you guys can have a chance to purchase it if you're interested there. So anyway, that's it. We're going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed the tool restoration. Our Evaporust did fantastic, and this is the first time that I used the Birchwood Super Blue, and I think that the color on it actually turned out really nice. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next project.